If you're standing at the edge of a power outage and wondering whether you should throw another UPS on the table or keep that cash in the bank, you're not alone. Most of us have that moment of hesitation. Will this thing actually keep my server alive long enough to shut down cleanly? Will I be stuck with an expensive device that I never really need? Those are the questions that keep me up at night, especially when I'm trying to protect businesses that can't afford a single minute of downtime. The APC SRT3000RMXLT is one of those high-capacity, network-ready UPS units that promises to take the guesswork out of the equation. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about what this class of UPS actually does. A true double conversion, or online, unit like this one is built to sit between your power source and your equipment, constantly converting incoming AC to DC and then back again. That means the output voltage you see is completely isolated from any sags, spikes, or brownouts on the input side. For a data center, a medical imaging suite, or any critical server room, that isolation is the difference between a smooth shutdown and a catastrophic data loss event. The SRT 3000RMXLT sits at 3000 VA, which translates to roughly 2700 watts of usable power, enough to handle a small rack of servers or a handful of high-end workstations with some breathing room. Now, who should really consider splurging on this unit? If you run a business where a single server outage could cost you thousands of dollars per hour, or if you have regulatory compliance requirements that demand an uninterruptible power source, then this UPS is a solid match. Think of IT administrators managing virtualization hosts that are always running virtual machines, remote offices that rely on a single internet line, or small labs that operate expensive equipment that can't be powered off abruptly. In those scenarios, the SRT's ability to provide clean, continuous power and the built-in network card for remote monitoring become more than nice-to-have features. They're essential tools for maintaining uptime. On the flip side, if you're a home office user who merely wants to keep a desktop and a monitor alive during a brief blackout, you'll likely find this unit overkill. The price point is steep, and the physical footprint is larger than a typical tower UPS. For a single PC or a few peripherals, a line interactive or offline UPS in the 1500 VA range would cover the basics without forcing you to allocate a whole rack space. Talking about practical strengths, the first thing that caught my eye was the network card that comes standard. It's not just a blind plug-and-play accessory. The card lets you tap into APC's PowerShoot Business Edition software, giving you real-time visibility into load, battery health, and runtime. That remote access translates into real savings when you have to troubleshoot a power issue from a different floor or even a different building. The online conversion ensures zero transfer time. The moment the grid fails, the UPS is already delivering power, so there's literally no interruption to the devices downstream. In environments where you have storage arrays performing write-intensive operations, that zero-delay switch can prevent corrupt files and reduce the risk of RAID rebuilds. Another real-world advantage is the unit's scalable runtime. The SRT 3000 can be paired with additional external battery modules, extending its backup time well beyond the standard 710-minute rating. For facilities that need to stay operational through an entire storm season event, being able to bolt on extra batteries without replacing the whole UPS is a massive benefit. In my experience, that modularity means you won't outgrow the unit once your load increases, which is often the hidden cost of buying a smaller UPS today and having to replace it next year. But no product is perfect, and this one has a few hidden trade-offs that matter once you have it in the rack. The SRT's high capacity comes with a relatively high idle power draw. Even when you're only using 10% of its rated load, the UPS itself consumes enough power that the overall efficiency drops compared to a smaller unit running at a higher load factor. That's something you'll notice on your monthly electricity bill if you keep it running constantly. Additionally, while the network card is a boon for remote monitoring, the web interface can be sluggish on older browsers, and the firmware updates sometimes require a manual download and upload process instead of a seamless over-the-air upgrade. If you're used to plug-and-play equipment that updates itself at the touch of a button, you'll have to budget some extra time for maintenance. The unit also has a fairly heavy chassis, just over 150 pounds. Shipping it to a smaller office or a cramped server room can be a hassle, and you'll need a proper pallet jack or at least 2 strong people to get it onto the rack. Once it's installed, though, the rack-mountable design means you can lock it in securely, mitigating the risk of theft, which is a real concern in shared co-location spaces. On the software side, PowerShoot Business Edition is a powerful tool, but it's